everybody. This is Becca from Empowering Pumps and Equipment. I am happy to introduce Glenn Wieczorek from Tsurumi America with us to talk about WWETT. So Glenn, why don't you introduce yourself?
Thank you, Becca. So, yes, I think a lot of people in the industry know me by now, but I'll still go through the formality. My name is Glenn Wieczorek. I am with Tsurumi America, as Becca mentioned, and I'm the president, managing director of Tsurumi America. I've been in the pump business now for quite some time. It's always amazed me because I've always thought of myself as the younger group in the industry and in the business. And I woke up one day and realized I'm not in the younger group any longer. So thank you for having me today. But yeah, that's kind of my background, a little bit of the introduction into who I am.
Well, I love it, Glenn. So why don't you tell me, how do you support the wastewater and environmental services industry?
So, we have a really broad range of products, Becca. We start off with our pumps. That's what we're most known for. And we do pumps, and we're famous for the small portable pumps, which actually ends up quite often in wastewater type of environments, especially remediation, things of that nature that maybe the typical person doesn't always think of that as wastewater. I think by and large, most people think of wastewater as big sewage facilities. And while that certainly is a huge part of the business, there's also that part of the business that we cater to as well that uses the small pumps, remediation. It's flooding occurs, and then what's left behind is wastewater. It's contaminated wastewater. So a lot of people are using our small pumps for that. As I mentioned, we also have the very large pumps in the sewage range that are more typical what you would find in a municipality. This last year, we launched a new product line for us called the Avant. And it is explosion proof, and it goes up to 250 horse, which is a much broader range than that we've offered in the past. And then also our products that a lot of people don't know that we do is we do a lot of what we call as process equipment. So there's dehydrators, there's decanters, there's aeration equipment, there's bar screens. And what makes our equipment a little bit unique to most other companies is it's not manufactured or designed for large municipal applications. We have them smaller, so that is in wastewater, in commercial wastewater, that you'll see where they don't have large facilities. They need smaller equipment, and we really cater to those markets with our product line. So it's something that we're pump people, and we're still getting this going, but we've been very successful with the environmental products that we also sell.
Awesome. And I love you notating the smaller aspects of the things that are just as important. I do think a lot of people already know this, but why don't you tell us why these services are essential?
Well, of course, and I think that this is, as we go on in time, I think that, it's important to be able to handle this wastewater. When we look around the world and you see these sometimes horrible pictures of, wastewater just being dumped into the, whether it's the ocean, whether it's our rivers, lakes, whatever. And it's just disheartening to see that some places in the world don't have the resources to be able to treat that before it gets to the water source. And as we go on, water is becoming, and will become even more important than it is currently today, or it has been in the past. Clean drinking water is going to be a huge, huge issue as we go on in time here. And a lot of that is because we have wasted a lot of the water by dumping and contaminating it with waste material. So, again, waste, we always think of, or at least I guess I think of, when somebody mentions that, the first thing that comes into my head is, okay, sewage waste facility in a municipality, extremely important. But we have lots of other waste streams that are contributing to the pollution of our waterways. And so that's why it's extremely important that we have those resources, and we put those resources into equipment that can handle that, so that water doesn't even get to our water sources, because without water, we're nothing. And it's amazing how quickly is when people don't have water and they don't have clean water in locations even like in Michigan, where we all know what happened up there, and how quickly things fall apart when you don't have clean water available to you.
Absolutely. Water, especially clean water, is essential to life and very suiting for Drinking Water Week this week.
Yes, yes.
So Glenn, tell me why WWETT is a good show for Tsurumi to exhibit at.
Well, it's interesting. I don't know if you know a lot about the history of WWETT, but it started off as a vacuum pump show for vacuum trucks that were, that they use in sewers to vacuum out the product. That's actually how it started a number of years ago, and it's evolved to being a true regional wastewater show, with that equipment is being shown throughout a very wide range of products, not just those vacuum trucks anymore. So yeah, it's an important show for us because it is a little bit more regional. We are in this region, and so we can have always a good presence at shows like that. But it again I think it's important because we're allowed to show our product range. If we take an ad out in a magazine, say for instance, people just aren't going to take the time to familiarize themselves with our whole product range. Again, from that very small pump, which a lot of people don't even think of when they're thinking wastewater, up to the large pump to the equipment that I just mentioned. So this is one of those opportunities for us as people are passing, and Tsurumi's gaining more and more reputation. So people are paying attention and coming into our booth. And then when we're able to tell the story of how not just the broad range, but how that range interacts with each other, and that our process equipment that I just talked about a little while ago, it needs pumps to be able to operate. You don't just have a bar screen, and the water has to be pumped through there. So it's really a cohesive group of products that work well together, and so that we're able to offer just this almost not a turnkey situation, but we can be the supplier of all the products for a clean water environment. And so for us, it's important that we get these opportunities to be able to stand in front of people and share with them what we can offer them and the solutions that we can offer them.
That's great. And so with that in mind, with being able to show your wide range, what all are you planning to showcase this year?
Well, as I mentioned, we do have a new product range that we introduced last year in the fall. Somebody might say that was probably the worst time to introduce a product, is when there's a shutdown and a pandemic that's hitting. But in many ways, actually, it has been good because it's allowed us to slowly ramp up instead of being slammed with everything right away. So we are showing our new Avant line. Again, it's all the way up to 250 horse. So the range that we can cover now is vastly different than what we were offering in the past. So we're excited about that. We're excited to be able to show that. We will have some products that we're going to be exhibiting that are in the small process equipment that I was referring to earlier. Once again, small bar screens that you just don't find usually a lot of supply or people that manufacture those things. The aeration equipment that we offer is also a little bit different than what the large companies for large municipalities offer. We're able to offer it in a small, compact package that the capital expenditure to be able to install this is very, very small compared to what the large capital jobs require. So we offer a bit of a different niche, and that's primarily what we're going to be showing, and showing people what we can offer them, so we can offer solutions once again to their problems of handling wastewater.
Well, I'm excited, and excited for everyone to be able to see what you guys have to offer, especially being able to see your new Avant line. So Glenn, what is the best way for people to connect with you?
Well, these days we're all over social media, which I'm happy to announce. But first of all, the best place to contact us is probably at www.tsurumipump.com. So there you can see our products, you can see the different education that we're coming out with, new products. We're getting ready to launch a new website with portals in it and lots of bells and whistles. In addition, recently, we also introduced a content website. So if people just want to go to a site and just learn about wastewater, learn about pumping, it's not an advertisement site. Obviously, we sponsor it, so you will see our logos, but that's not what it's there for. It's there really for a content site so that people can learn more about just our industry overall, the water industry overall. So those are probably the best way to get a hold of me. And then, of course, we do have a toll-free number, which you can find on our websites. But I would strongly suggest to people that if they want more information about what we can offer, is to go to those sites, because you'll be able to probably get a better job of them explaining it than I can explain it even.
Awesome. Thank you, Glenn. And so that content website is awesome. Everyone should check it out. And it is builtforwork.com, so that everybody can go for it.
Yeah, thank you for reminding me that. I'm sure our people would have been a little bit disappointed that I didn't get that out myself. So yes, builtforwork.com. Thank you.
All right, Glenn. Well, thank you. And I'm excited to see what you do at WWETT, and everybody go check them out.
Yes, thank you. Come on by. And Becca, thank you for your time today. I always appreciate it when you can take the time and interview us, or at least just talk to us. This is great.
Always. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.